As we look at the Army painting, we want to begin in the upper left-hand corner with the flag representing the Grand Union. That was the last time that flag was used. We go back to 1775 with two different main events. April, we had the Battle of Lexington, the shot heard around the world. And then we have the actual beginning of the Continental Army with the birthday of June 15th. In this particular venue, we see a cannon team. We have Molly Pitcher up there, and she was the first woman ever compensated for military service by the United States government. And even today, when the armored divisions have their annual banquet, they will do the first toast to Molly Pitcher. We also see Valley Forge, we see Paul Revere, we see Washington crossing the Delaware. So again, a very important part, the beginning of our history. And with this painting, we really serpentine through history itself. Hence, we have this parade of uniforms. The next thing we would have would be the War of 1812. We see that standing figure. In the distance behind him is Fort Snelling, which is our connection Minnesota-wise to this, which dates back to 1820. Next to him, we have someone from the Spanish-American War in the 1830s, 1840s. We then move on to the Civil War, where we see several figures. We have a woman spy. Women played a rather important role in the Civil War as spies, in addition to being nurses. And then from there we see a man in the Union blues, but behind him we have a gentleman in a red shirt with black pants. That is the Minnesota Militia. So when the Minnesota Militia first went down to participate in the Civil War, the non-commissioned officers all were wearing those type of uniforms. From there, we then move on to the Spanish-American War, and it was sort of the beginning of calling out. And so that's why you have the gentleman holding his hand up, because it really was the first time that America was beginning to make its presence known on the world stage. As we then move down to the center of the painting, you'll notice a World War I doughboy standing over a cross, and on that cross is the date November 11th, 1918, as we all know today as Veterans Day. Originally it was Armistice Day. Just behind him is a World War II figure, someone landing at Normandy, and the person who actually modeled for that did actually land at Normandy. Just to his left, you will notice a skull and two boots. That commemorates the Death March at Bataan. To the lower right, you'll notice a small patch with a shield and a star and a sword. That was the Persian Gulf Command. You'll also notice the soldier standing on the Italian boot, and we have the Red Bull Brigade, the 34th Infantry Division. From there, we move over to a gentleman with a fur collar that takes us to the Korean War. We then come down to the front to the war in Vietnam. We also then see a contemporary soldier who has three different uniforms. So he has the Woodlawn uniform, flak vest on. He has the first Gulf War helmet cover, and then his other uniform is second Gulf War, and behind him is a woman with the digital, which is now a defunct uniform. She is like paying homage over a fallen soldier. Below that you see the Purple Heart, Silver Star, and Bronze Star. We move away then to the very far left on the bottom side of the painting, and you see a gentleman pointer. That is Gordon Gerling, who is the brainchild behind this project. The other person is Thomas Paine, and his essay on common sense was like the most published and read article in the 1776 next to the Bible, believe it or not. Then we have a homeless veteran sitting on a gutter.